okay, definitely these people really need to know some good restaurants, because I think every time Soma makes a food, it's like, oh, fantastic. Everybody just has this moment. It's like, oh my god, honey, I've never experienced this. You can get it in a store just easily, guys. You know, I'm pretty sure it's like £1.20 something per little jar. It's like, seeing from this episode, I've definitely noticed something, and it really made me realize, especially when I read a lot of this series, and especially watching this now, this series has so much good stuff that it has, and then so much stuff. I feel like both the elements of the series, like both the like serious cooking aspects of it, the characters, and just all like the etchy sort of harem like sort of things that it feels like it can kind of go with the series. I feel like it can definitely go that route. I doubt it. I only saw like 30 chapters, so I couldn't say if it goes into the horror. Definitely, obviously, it goes in the etchy route. I feel like both the sides take away from the elements of each other, like in good and bad ways. I mean, it definitely adds more to it. It's definitely the most mainstream, probably the best like cooking series that we've got out there at the moment. And that's the thing. That's a genre that isn't really explored at all, and that's what makes it so unique and like a breath of fresh air, I find, to everyone seen from the series. But definitely as well, I can definitely say through this, it's like I feel like the etchiness needs to maybe be toned down a bit more. I highly doubt that. From what I've seen, it gets pretty crazy. But regardless of what, I feel like it takes away from the elements, and definitely from what this one we saw from this episode, like we get to see like one of the new girls is on Megami, who has like no confidence. She's always getting E's, and pretty much in her next like exam, she gets an E, she fucking fails, she gets dropped out, and I'm thinking, gee, what kind of harsh class is it? Not gonna lie, like fucking Erina has got her fucking head so rammed up there, so much rammed up. Oh, you're all going to be stepping stones to me, like always doing this flickering shit with the fucking hair. Stop flickering it everywhere. It's like, I'm sorry, but if this was a person I met, regardless of her attractiveness or anything, I would call her straight up a cunt or a bitch, because that is just ridiculous. You do not treat that. Yeah, people are better at other things. Ooh, you're better at fucking cooking an egg or boiling it, whatever the fuck. Like, regardless of what, people are better at other things. That's just one thing you gotta understand. It's like, I hate that, because that is so true about most people in the cooking industry. They are just snobs. And that's unfortunately what gets you life. Most of the time, you've got to be a fucking snob. And I just like it because Sober's the fucking regular man. He just brings it down. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, I got in here pretty much because of the old man, because he saw my potential. And he's like, yeah, I'm just going to use all you guys, so go fuck yourselves. And he just walks off, and I'm just like, he's just going... And just everyone wants to like throw shit at him, like cursing about. When they're in the class, like Megami has to tee it up, but then she's like, "Oh my fucking god!" And they're making beef beignet, and it's like, I have no idea how to make this. Good luck. And it's like, when they even fucking trying to make it, like the cunts are just going there sabotaging it, like fucking throwing like a giant shit ton of salt. And the fucking teacher saw this, and he's like, "Go ahead, kids, like fucking go ahead." Like, I'm sorry, but that was in my kitchen, like, or anything, like, if that was in my kitchen or any of the, like, classes I used to do in college, if anyone I saw trying to spike my fucking food, I'd fucking put the head at that stove. You don't do that shit. And it's like, they managed to turn it back by using honey, which actually absorbed, like, all the, like, it eats away at the proteins. And it was really kind of, how do you get rid of that really salty sort of taste to it? Like, you obviously had the spare, and that made it able to make the meat tender, and it didn't need that long time as a real beef beignet needed. And it was a clever idea that someone had with the spare parts that he managed to get. And it's like, oh, I learned this, using pineapple. And I thought, oh, what can I use up to test this with it? And he used other stuff like, because oh, I don't want to use a whole fucking pineapple for this. It's like, oh, I'm going to use, some fucking, like, this is perfect honey, and it's, like, a good thing for it. And it's, like, honestly, a lot of people use honey. That's why you get, like, honey glazed ham and shit like that. It works well. And honestly, I like this episode. It's just definitely, like, one thing as well is, like, I really don't like Megami from what I've seen of the series as a character. I feel like she's just been there as a hero. Yeah, she probably grows later on, but it's just, like, from what I've seen of her, I just felt like she's always been like, oh, I'm gonna cry, I'm so useless. It's like, I don't give a fuck. Already got one Unadera in my life. I don't need another, So definitely, I did like this episode. That's one thing. I'm probably being a hard ass about this, but it's like, regardless of what, from what I've seen from it, and it tempers with, like, it goes into more details of something that was very close in my life for a long while. it was really enjoyable. It just has issues with like blending the two together. Like, so I feel like this series has a lot of potential. I'm very interested to see if they are going to go past the stuff that I've read of the series. So I'm really curious about that. And I'm really looking forward to the good parts as well that I read. It's just like, I was just wanting to see how it works in an anime format. So I definitely think like a 6.5 to a 7 this week would be a fair. Like, really, let me know in the comments down below because I'm curious about you guys, what you thought about this one. But that's all for me. So thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.